I'll give it a shot.
May have Zoom
Screw it
here.
up, I'll let you.
Don't hang up yet, Steve.
Don't hang up.
I should hang on.
No, hang on, yeah, because Rich may have broken through.
Oh, okay.
Don't hang up yet. Yeah.
Okay, so Rich, you just sent a text, so
Yeah, and so that, do we know who else might be dialing in?
Ginger. And I don't know if David Carroll is, but.
No, he sent something, but
Yeah.
it didn't sound like he was it.
Ginger needs the phone link for Zoom.
Oh, okay.
I was just actually talking to her about downloading the Zoom app on her iPhone because that way she could participate more fully. But she needs the phone link for now. Should I use that link?
Yeah, I
you
just-
sent.
Yeah, I just sent you the link.
Go ahead, and try that link. You can stay on the phone in the meantime.
Yeah, sure. Got it.
And you're able to send Ginger?
Yeah.
Rich, okay. Hey, so far, doing great.
Yeah. You
Are
did it.
you in? Okay, I'm hanging up the phone. Yeah. Okay, all right, are we all counted for?
Yeah, Peter's on with a iPad. Show everyone.
I should probably.
Yeah,
Surgery.
If I'm grossing people out, I'll be happy to
Yeah, they
turn.
only do one.
All right, so we patched you in, Peter.
Oh, yes, okay.
2 weeks. on.
Yeah. I got it, Rich, I got it.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah. well,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, all right. Can we start with minutes, November minutes? Have people reviewed? Celia sent them out, everybody good?
Changes, corrections, suggestions.
Any correction suggestions? Do we need to move, Pat?
We can pass all three,
We
right?
do
All
all
three.
three,
Okay,
yeah.
treasurer's report, Ethan sent, and then the BAIP. Everybody good?
Maybe not, but I want to, somewhere either now or later, I want to talk about the
Gifting?
renewal of our CD that we
Okay.
have to have.
But that's not the treasurer's report that was already submitted, that's looking for.
Okay, so minutes, treasurer's report, BAIP report, all good? Motion,
I
motion to
move that
move,
we,
Except them,
second,
I'll second.
great,
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Oh,
Right,
all
done.
good, thank you. Alright.
Before you carry on with the agenda, can I add some very brief items?
Sure, go.
So,
Do you want to?
Gary just asked for a discussion of the CD renewal. That we need to talk
What
about.
is the CD renewal?
We have a CD and it's coming up for renewal. We have to decide.
we
whether we're gonna
invested some
do
of
that.
our cash.
I need to talk briefly about, well, I suppose this could go under gift giving, new business, the St. Luke's New Year's Eve party. UFC asked us for a letter, so I would like under new business to briefly mention that letter.
US.
It's
UFC, the Uptown
Film
Film Center.
That's new business? Yes.
Yeah, because it's something we haven't discussed before. And I guess this would go under newsletter. Okay, good.
Good, all right, I'm gonna start at the top unless there's something urgent. Okay, the Zoom account to renew, we were gonna just see if there was a discount to be had. Rich, did you have a chance to do that?
If I recall, they wrote back right away and said we got the discount.
Oh, no, they wrote back right away and said, no, we didn't qualify for the
Oh,
discount.
did they really?
That's the thing that I forwarded to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
All right, so that's,
what I'm gonna do right now.
and meanwhile, they renewed it because the automatic renewal date was the 10th.
Who's your account set on now?
Line, I have the receipt for reimbursement.
okay, so we are renewed, we're renewed for another year. Is that how that works again?
Yeah.
All right, that happened. The Ionos account, you had mentioned.
Okay, so I'm the one who manages this account, which is the one where we get those email addresses that are not our email addresses, fake email addresses that send things on to other people. And it costs about $8, well, exactly $8.71 a month, and I've been paying it, but I kind of thought maybe I shouldn't be paying it, maybe the Block Association should be paying it. So I would ask if that could then become an expense for the Block Association.
But what does it do?
It maintains that we have that account with them that allows us to have Peggy at West 102, 103, or,
Because I often get emails having to do with.
yeah, there was a lot of,
It's bogus.
there's a lot of scam stuff, but they are helpful. I've used them for technical help, and Ethan used them recently to send out the donors.
That sounds like a VA expense.
Yeah, I mean, it is, I just, the person before me was
So
just
send
paying.
me a note. I don't know how many months we've been doing this and,
I don't really want to be reimbursed for the past, but I would just like to going forward have it. Okay, so the question is, does it get charged? We don't have that, right? So
you just,
send you the.
send me a
receipts.
email if you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
I think for the interest of bookkeeping, if you know that it's $8.71 a month, you should do a bill for the year 2026. And just get one check and, but if it happens, what do you?
Great. All right, newsletter update.
Okay.
It went out.
It went out. It exists. I brought a few extra copies. I have more extras at home. Amy and Ariana did a great job. Terrence, as always, does a great job with the advertising. I admit I have not read it since it came out, so I read it in the production. Pages, I think it's a good one. It has a nice diverse balanced content with a good tone.
This one has the results, survey results. right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that's right.
Front page.
Was there feedback or reaction?
Not yet, because it only started being distributed last weekend.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Speaking of the newsletter, I got an email from a woman who identified herself as a VAIP member. And it seems that her nephew is part of a company that provides support services for seniors who are living independently or for caregivers of people who are living independently but need care. And she wondered about placing an ad in the newsletter. And that was part one. Part one was whether this company, the name of the niche, but could advertise. So yes, of course, so.
Is it that they want it for free?
No, it didn't say that. I was wondering, do we want to offer it for free? But since it's a business, I don't think so. Yeah. It's not a VAIP program or anything. Actually, the kid whose business it is just happens to be the nephew of the VAIP.
That's it. I think it was a little confusion because she seemed to be.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see you on my reply to her,
Oh, okay, so you're.
but I clarified
They
it.
could have one, but I don't know, it hasn't been coming out.
Right.
So I don't know.
So I wrote back to her to clarify that piece and then give her figure she's on the. And part two was whether some sort of Zoom program that the company presents would be accepted. And my answer to her was, I think this is more a VAIP thing than a block association thing. So although we do have a lot of seniors, we also have a lot of people who aren't. VAIP represents the older population more than we do. So I just wanted you all to know that we've had that contact and that something or nothing may come of it.
Okay. So nothing we need to do.
No action needed.
Okay. Newsletter, next newsletter would be when?
It's really hard. I do it. May have the distribution.
That.
Just that, Hetty's got this whole crew of people who help do the newsletters distribution, some of whom are in this room, in their own apartment buildings and sometimes other people's apartment buildings. And there's one route, or is it
It's pieces of two routes that people retired from doing.
And you've done it once, I think. I've done it. You know, it's some of the brownstones, it's a little tricky, some of them, because they don't have to wear masks, some of them. In any case, so, there's a new volunteer that's offered to help out with it, but Beth is going away, so she's pretty. And Hetty ended up having to do it herself, and I just was wondering if people on the board would be willing to be a backup here or there. If we need someone to help, let's say 103rd Street or 150th Street.
Yeah, I had no idea. I'm happy to help.
I remember that you had volunteered in the past, but I was just in the middle where I just wanted to get it done. I didn't want to write an email on the first.
Right, I mean, but just to know that there are some people that would be willing to.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay, thank you.
It's not hard, it's not time consuming.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just,
mind
you know.
The security survey.
Peter on now? Peter, you have any report on that?
I'm sorry, I was having a little trouble hearing. Could you repeat that, please?
We're at the item that is the security.
Oh, yes. Well, everything, I do have an update. Everything is ready to go. And there is some confusion as to who actually is sending it out, but all the revisions have been made, the postcard and the
How does it usually get, how does something like that get sent out in general?
Well, we've never done one like that. So Wilbert said he asked Dan, who told me the Block Association was going to be in charge of sending them out, but unsure based on previous email who was handling what. So I think maybe Hetty and Amy, would you be the two that I could maybe find a concurrence and we could get the thing out, because all the text for the postcard and the survey has been gone over now.
These are postcards that need to be mailed.
Were they printed and then mailed or?
Yes, printed and mailed. Now they can print them, but
Do we have all the addresses we need?
well, we have the addresses that we have, and we're asking for more addresses for the survey. That's part of the reason of doing it.
Have we
So
mailed things before? I mean.
Yes, we
newsletters-
used to send out annual invoices to buildings, so we have that list of the building contacts, and I think we provided that to the bid, didn't we, Peter?
yes, I think we did. So
Okay, so we're
the only-
starting with that list and then looking to find out if we need to update and change.
right.
Or a new managing agent, and what's the email address, not the mailing address, and that kind of stuff.
Right. So to refresh everyone's memory, the postcard itself just says, and it has the logo of the Block Association, and the bid, it says the West 102nd and 103rd Streets Block Association in collaboration with Columbus Avenue, Amsterdam. Bid is conducting a brief survey to better understand security, camera, and technology usage within our neighborhood. You can access the survey online by scanning the QR code below. Your feedback will help us assess interest in a coordinated security network using a central security system, identifying potential coverage gaps, and find additional ways to enhance our neighborhood. And then there's a QR code, says thank you for taking the time, and that's it. And that is supposed to be in the mail. And they can, you know, they're unclear if it was part of the agreement that they mail us out, or if we mail this out. They can print them there, but it's just a postcard that needs to be sent out. But all the text is ready to be sent out.
Based on my recollection, which could be fuzzy, I thought they were taking care of this, that one of the
Yeah,
reasons we made this arrangement with the
Right.
bid, so that we wouldn't have to do the admin.
okay. That was my understanding too. That's what I'm going to tell Daniel. So hopefully.
How many are we sending?
It's just our block association, not the whole bid, right?
Yeah, that's correct. It's just our block
Do
association.
we have a count of how many people are getting it?
it's the number which is on the, as Hetty said, is on the invoice list. I don't know what that number is.
How many buildings do we have?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'm just thinking if their concern is the cost of postage
22, 23.
or if it's the labor.
No, I think it's
Okay.
the Zoom.
But doing
Um,
it and getting the addresses right and the people, I mean, I know if this postcard comes to my building, it's gonna die. No.
No, it has to go to the managing agents and that's how
And they
the
distribute.
invoices used to go out. That's
And
why
they
we're
distribute it
using
within the
that
building.
list. The managing agent for the building says, oh, I got this postcard at a board meeting. You know, what do you want to do about it? And then the board directs the managing agent and it'll get filled out.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, if it's okay with everyone, I'm gonna take this email from Wilbert and add Dan, Amy and Hetty to the thread. Anybody else who needs to know about this, but my understanding is also that the bid was gonna handle the mailing of it, right?
That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, if they're
Or-
doing this work, that's part of doing the work.
If
We
we
just have to make sure everything's updated or
Yeah.
the right addresses, right?
Yeah.
If
Now, we
our
should
name
have
is
a-
not on here, is that we're not on the list?
It means your building hasn't contributed.
Or nobody in your building has contributed.
No, my building's here, but my name is not, and I'm.
Right.
Okay, so that's something that Ethan can check the database about.
Okay.
Okay, so it
We
sounds
should
like,
have a list of managing agents for all buildings.
Right.
We
that's-
do. And we gave it to them and they have it.
Oh,
Whether
okay.
it's up to date is a
Right.
different question because we stopped sending out invoices when we canceled the guard.
That-
Because
Right.
it wasn't
Years ago.
legit to be raising money for something we weren't doing anymore. So there may have been some change and,
Yeah.
but like Peter just said, and one of the purposes of sending out the postcard is to
was
get the.
to get an updated database. Exactly.
Now, do we also
Okay.
have email addresses?
Not so much.
Yes, well, again, we're soliciting all of that is on the survey.
Yeah, good.
So,
Right, we don't have it, but we're trying to get it.
Okay.
Right. So, the big side benefit of doing this was that we would have much better information about who's in charge of this kind of thing in buildings. So who, in addition to, Hetty, Amy, Ethan, who else needs to be on this thread with Daniel, just to, if there are any questions about it,
Nobody,
about the list?
that's it.
that's it, Peter.
Ethan and Gary as well?
I don't need to, I'm.
You don't need to, okay. But Ethan knows about the list issue, right?
He's the one who provided
He's on
that.
the list. so-
Okay, great, okay,
I mean, I give him all the information, but.
Right.
but-
okay. All right, it's gonna be Daniel, Ethan, Hetty and Amy and me, and hopefully we can figure this out and get the thing out.
Okay,
Okay, let's move to the tax status, if you can, this is what David sent right before the meeting. Of the 501c4 versus the 501c3.
Hi, it's David Carroll.
Oh, you're here, Dave.
Oh,
Hi,
Yeah,
David.
sorry, I just had asked, I couldn't find the Zoom thing, and I apologize for being kind of out of it the last few months. I had a couple of health issues. I tried to catch up a couple of months ago. One of your, I think it was,
His
somebody,
name, Rich.
Richard Robbins, yeah, pardon me, sent a little chart, which was very helpful, and I tried to update it a little bit. One thing that I found out was that it is, there are a lot of companies that have both there's 501c3 and 501c4 organizations kind of linked together. Usually it's the other way around. The 501c3 charity, which can't do political lobbying, sets up a 501c4 to take non-deductible contributions for political lobbying. But we do it the other way around. We have our 501c4, which could do political lobbying if you wanted to. I don't think, I'm not aware of you ever doing it, but since I've been around, but and then set up the 501c3 to get the deductible contribution, and then the 501c3, the NewCo we're calling it, could transfer money to the 501c4, but only for quote charitable purposes. And I'm still working on that a little bit. It's a little more nuanced than I thought, because the stuff I've been reading is it's hard for block associations to get 501c3 because they're considered not to be public enough. And the ones that have gotten it that I've looked into so far are near parks. So they say, oh, we're helping there's one near the Museum of Natural History, the West 78th Street Museum Park Block Association. And when you read their purposes that they've written in their charter, they're very vague. So I don't know what they're really doing. The one that I find most surprising is the Gramercy Park Block Association, which got approved as a charitable organization when Gramercy Park isn't open to the public. And they put down as their purpose to educate the public about the unique nature of Gramercy Park. I don't know, to educate the public that you can't go in. I don't know if you've ever been there to that area. There's a couple of places that put on plays, and I've been down there, and you can't get in, and it's sort of like the old brownstones where you don't let someone in after you. So I don't know how they got away with that. And then some block associations I found use kind of an umbrella organization. Someone had sent us information about the West 111th Street Block Association, and they use a like an umbrella of another organization that has gotten the 501c3. So I'm trying to look into those, because I think the hardest part of this is going to be we'll have some restrictions on what you can do with the money. But if a charity or a foundation came and said, we want to give you money to like fix up all the plantings around all the trees, which I think we could argue is like a public benefit. It's not just you don't have to be in the block association to be helped by that. And then we could use that money for that, and then have money that other people have contributed on a non-tax deductible basis. And that part wouldn't be that hard. You'd have an agreement between the two associations. The harder part, and I'm still reviewing this, is getting the 501c3 in the first place. They haven't been given them recently. The last one I could find who got one was this one over by the Museum of Natural History, and that was 10 years ago. And their purpose was very vague as well. It was just to improve the condition of the park. So I don't know if they're helping the park. The park that's around the museum is a public park. So I'm sorry to drone on, but I feel I got a little behind on all this. But I think the thing I'm trying to work on now is, could we get the 501c3 if we set up a new entity? And I think it still could be worthwhile, because you say there's entities who foundations want to make contributions, but they won't because we're not a 501c3. So we could have as we talked about earlier, the other 501c3, but they could transfer the money, but it could only be transferred for something that would be a charitable purpose anyway. So you couldn't use it for like hiring a guard. The rules, the rules and rulings that I've found make that pretty hard to do, because they'll say that's too much like a private club or something. But that might free up other money. If you could get a big contribution from a foundation, then you'd have more money from the regular contributions. I don't know if
Yeah, thinking about that, public versus selected designation. I was looking at the list you included at the bottom of the chart, and that the newsletter and the events were both no.
Well, I was updating that from what Richard had said. Well, because is the newsletter a charitable purpose? If it was for the purpose of getting contributions, maybe, and maybe then I don't know if you could you maybe deduct part of it. I don't know. I have to think about that a little bit.
I think of it as disseminating valuable information to all of the residents in the area. So wouldn't that qualify for, not exclusive? It is the whole community.
Well, anyone can get it right nowadays with the internet and everything. Anyone
Right.
can see it if they wanted to. So that's a good question. I'll look into that a little more.
And similarly with our events, they're
Yeah.
open to everybody.
There's a lot written about things that are how these entities can interrelate and whether you can have the same website and stuff like that. I'm still working on that, but that might be a good.
So what is the next step, if I can ask?
Well, my next step, and I'm sorry for having gotten on I got a little sidetracked this summer. Was that would be to see how we could get the 501c3 status, and I'm still researching what other block associations who got it have done, because I think it's hard to get now from the IRS. And there were, as I mentioned earlier a couple months ago, the state legislature changed the law so you couldn't amend your charter to be a charity, because people are thinking these charities are, should be more limited. So I think the big step I have now is to figure out what would get approved by the IRS to be a 501c3, and then the rest of the stuff, if we don't get that, then the rest of the stuff's not going to happen anyway.
Got it. All right,
So-
but we still think it's worth pursuing, is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's worth a try. I'm not, me working on it, I'm not going to cost the association anything. So why
Thank
don't
you.
give it a shot?
Yeah, I mean, I see three concerns. The biggest one is that it's asking you to do work for free. If you don't
Well,
mind,
I volunteered to
Yeah.
do that. It's pro
yeah.
bono.
So, and then the other two I see is that we might not get it, so it could
That's
be
right.
all or not. And the third is I'd be concerned about locking up money in ways that we can't use it.
Restricted.
Yeah, and obviously, people are going to prefer to give money to the C3 than the C4 because they get a tax deduction. But if we're going to get more money to the C3 and aren't able to use it, then
Well,
we have money trapped in one place.
I think that kind of gets related to the overall question of what can we get approved as a charitable purpose of the association. And if we look at, I mean, what are the things we're trying to do is improve the neighborhood. We're trying to improve the neighborhood for everybody, not just, you don't have to be in the association to get a benefit from that. Then I think, that would be, that would be our case. And that but that would be a limit if someone made a donation. If you wound up getting, you get 20,000 in donations a year, and if now 19 are going to the 501c3 and only 1,000 to the old company, then that could limit things the
Yeah,
old
I mean,
company
that's
could
the
do.
concern.
Right.
No, I understand that's the concern, because
Could we
once that
do-
money's in there, it's kind of locked up.
Could we do an education program on renovations to my apartment?
I don't know. I'm still shocked at what they're getting away with in Gramercy Park, but
I'm feeling like we should report that. That's like,
Oh, my God. Well, David, thank you so much. And-
well, I'm
and-
sorry. I got very sidetracked this summer, and I
No,
just
no, this is appreciated. But the next step of defining what it could be used for, I think will be
Yeah.
after.
yeah.
so that's going
So I'd
forward.
like to kind of draft up what I would suggest as our purposes based on what other block associations have gotten approved, and I'm still doing some research on that. And then if that was okay, then we could file it. And if they say no, they say no. They won't. It won't hurt our current situation. We won't make it any worse. And I volunteered to do this, so don't worry about that.
Well, thank you. All right, so to be continued.
Okay, yeah.
Great, okay.
Sorry for sending something right before the meeting like that. I apologize.
No, but thank you for keeping it moving.
I have a
Okay,
question about the survey, just to backtrack for 1 second.
Yeah.
Peter, are you listening?
Peter, still there?
Yes, I'm here. I had my
Okay.
microphone.
I have a
on.
question about the security survey. Do you
Yes.
have any thought about the timing of the postcard? Should this wait until after, the first, or are we trying to get it out before the end of the year?
I don't have any really strong feelings about that one way or another. Anyway,
I think it should wait. I think-
Karen says kind of a marketer. Do you have any experience with responses of end of
Yeah,
year or beginning of year?
Someday,
Oh, did you say me? I would wait till the beginning of the year.
yeah.
And
Beginning
then
of the year.
It's a,
Yeah.
it's like changing your
Right.
alarm clock.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think it's just
yeah,
a
right.
holiday shuffle, nobody's gonna pay
Right.
attention.
Right.
So in the first 2 weeks of the year, preferably.
Yeah,
Okay,
great.
okay.
That's great.
Sounds
Thank you.
good.
Good idea.
Okay.
Okay, reminders to contributors. Does anybody know if that's,
I asked Ethan for an update and I think he was too busy today to get back to me.
Okay.
So we'll find out.
all right, CB7, anything?
Yeah, it was kind of a robust meeting last time, maybe because we hadn't met for a while, but there were a couple things I wanted to bring up very briefly. One is 104th Street and 109th Street are both doing, block associations are both experimenting with rat contraceptives instead of rat poison. And they've had some success with it. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, the supers have to buy the material and then put it out and then they've seen a reduction. So we don't know if some of the reduction is the new sanitation rules or it might be this, so it's still kind of in this pilot stage. But I thought it might be interesting to have Steve from the 104th Street Block Association come next time and just tell about his experience with it. See if it's something that we want to tell the Block Association members about.
That sounds great.
I'm just going back to the Gramercy
Get
Park.
rid of course.
I'm going back to the Gramercy Park Block Association. If we have an education component, we could educate on that, on abstinence.
So that was
I'm imagining little condoms.
But then I would say that we don't, I mean, so I have a very bizarre sleeping time frame. I'm up at midnight and I'm walking around. I know which building have most problem because they come out at
Yeah.
night, and
Right.
especially the rainy time.
Right.
So it's like very obvious in our block, like 103 and 102,
Oh, really?
which, yeah. If you walk around like 1, 2 a.m., you can see which buildings have problems and the others don't.
Well, one thing, I mean, the obvious argument against the poison is that then other predators ingest it and die, like the owl, everything else, but anyway, I thought it would be interesting to hear from him. And see how.
Do you want to reach out to him? to
I
ask
did
him?
already, I asked him if he's willing to talk to us, and he said it's like 15 minutes, he'd be happy to just give a whole shebang. So that was one thing. The other thing, just briefly, the new CB7 guy, Alex Bell, was there and he had done a ride around with the street sweeper on several streets, like 96, somewhere in the high 80s, low 90s, for an hour and a half. And he rode on his bike and the guy, the head of sanitation, Glenn something, said his name, rode in the car. And not only do people not move, but when they knock on the door and say, you know, the street sweeper's here, they get combative and nasty and almost physical. And
Oh, my God.
it's just like out of control, really. And I had an experience not that long ago where I went out and I happened to get out on my block just when the street sweeper showed up. And there were a whole row of cars there, and I kind of expected half wouldn't have people in them. Every car had a person in it, but they weren't moving even when the sweeper was there. And I went and knocked on every window and said, the sweeper's here, move. And then they were like, oh, okay, and they move. And I just, it's astonishing to me that people don't feel any responsibility to get out of the way. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting, and I think there's some, Peter had mentioned, I think there's some plans for stricter fines and also some kind of, you told me, some kind of electronic way of ticketing people, so
This
it's
is the
not.
camera on the,
Right,
on
is that
the
a meter
station,
maid?
yeah.
There was a bill in the state legislature which did not pass in the last session to do automatic ticketing of people who don't move their cars. So, but I mean, I have video from my window of this. It's a chronic, it's a terrible problem. So I agree with the sentiment. It's so inconsiderate that
Is there any action from the guy doing a ride along? Is he gonna?
They were trying to ticket people. That's why people got angry. They either were angry because they didn't want to actually physically move because they were afraid they would
Lose their spot,
get their
right?
space back, or they were angry. And so many of the cars had out-of-state license plates.
So I just did a study of all of the violations of any sort that are posted on the Department of Finance website, which is millions and millions of violations, looked at all of the cars that have plates not from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, or Connecticut, and which ones had at least one violation each quarter of this year, and came up with 21,000 cars. And they could have valid reasons. They could be rental cars, they could be college students in town, but probably a lot of them or have just moved to New York. Close to 5,000 of them are from Florida. And in Florida, you have lower insurance rates because there are lower liability limits. And there's no annual inspection either for emissions or safety. So if you get a car with a Florida plate, you pay less in insurance, you don't have to get it inspected, and you just leave it here all the time. And so I found, I think it's around 4,500 of these cars. Now, the insurance companies are getting defrauded because they're insuring a car effectively in New York, but the cars, they are being told it's in Florida. And this is all public information, so the insurance companies could audit all these drivers. But yeah, it's a real problem. And they insurance companies also know if you're registered in Buffalo, but you're getting a lot of tickets in New York. Yeah,
There's
and
nothing
I mean from the
illegal about that.
yeah, it is. You have to legally change your yeah, if you've moved to New York, you have to legally change your
In the place where you've insured your car. Even.
I think you have to be there. I think it's like taxes where
I
you
think
can't
there's
claim
certain
Florida
amount,
residency if you
know.
have a condo, but you're not there.
Right, you have to be there 6 months in order to get the
Yeah.
benefits of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and from the parker's point of view, if you move out of the way, you might not get your spot back.
Right.
So it's like really stressful for everyone.
I know,
But
that's, you know.
the
part of
deal.
it's just a bad, yeah, it's a bad system.
It's an action item for us.
Sorry, no, there isn't. Only that, it may be at the next cabinet meeting, which would be the second Tuesday in January. They're gonna have the head of sanitation come and talk to the group. So if anyone here is interested in listening in, I mean, I'll just send out an email telling.
Send me a note on it. I'd love to go to meet the person.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely,
All right,
Okay.
is that it for CB7?
that's it.
Awesome. The SAPA moratorium, and you put this in the newsletter, thank you. That was the meeting, we wrote something saying they were trying to put they still are, trying to put a moratorium on commercial fares on streets. And so they were miscategorizing things like the longest table in some neighborhoods. So there was a big effort, including ourselves, of write-ins. I went to the meeting, it was a Zoom meeting itself. The SAPO asked the longest table folks for a special meeting. Why is everybody talking about this longest table thing, which was good news for us. But it was just interesting. And they clarified, they're very much, which is what it said in language, but it wasn't being done in practice. It's meant to limit the commercial activities, not the community activities. So that was just reinforced. So thank you, everybody, for participating in that. And then Peter, the shared street update. I know you also have a program proposal.
Yes, I have a program proposal for continuing to fund Street Love, which I think is coming up later in the agenda, or we can discuss it now. You know, the Street Love is going well. I put a picture of, you know, now recently we've had several hot chocolate and muffin treats from Neosha, which are very well appreciated. So there's a picture of that in your email. So it's good. I wanted, since you mentioned the longest table and 2026 is coming up in 2 weeks. I just wanted to mention, Deborah, that the summer solstice is on Sunday, June 21st in 2026. If we were thinking about, I don't know if our weekends good or bad for longest table, but that's also the Make Music New York date and might work well if you wanted to think about that.
Oh, that's interesting. I think that's worth thinking about.
It's
Again, we had talked about.
Sunday, June 21st is the solstice.
Yep.
I had thought Daniel didn't want us to do it on the same day as Make Music. Because they.
Oh,
get-
oh, that's possible too.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
what-
we should ask him. I just
Okay.
wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, we had just said we would find a date early June or
Mhm.
June.
Okay,
Closer to, but the weekends work beautifully. I've seen that in many neighborhoods. The summer evening
Mhm.
during the week also worked, I thought, really well.
Yeah,
So we can.
okay. Just
we
one,
can-
I'm sorry, I have to go answer the door. I'll be right back. I'm not.
Okay, we'll come back to you then.
Okay.
Survey results on the website. Amy and Richard.
yeah, Rich had stripped out the names and any identifying information and sent it, I don't know if he sent it to everybody or just to me. So we could put it
Yeah,
on the website, but I'm not tech savvy enough to know if it has to be, compressed in some way. I mean, should I just send
I
it to
think we should
Caitlin?
put a
and-
link to we could just put a link to a spreadsheet
So
and send it.
should I?
I can do that. I'll just create a file, put it on the Block Association for Google Drive.
All right, and then
And-
if you send a link to Caitlin, she can
Yeah,
put it up there, and then we said we would put it up, so then we'll have done that.
Okay, great. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Great. CD renewal. Eddie?
Uh,
Jerry?
Well, so let me give you a little bit of background on this. We've been running with basically about $50,000 in revenue in the entity ever since I took over as co-treasurer, and it goes up and down by 1,000 this way or that way, et cetera. And about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, it seemed crazy for us to be carrying that much money and getting now no interest on it. So we split it in half, and we put half of it at 25,000 into a CD. And we've been choosing the best interest rate, obviously, but the banks are actually really funny about this, because sometimes, the best rate is actually a 1 month rate or a 9 month rate, and so you have to constantly be renewing this stuff. We're up for renewal again on 24th of December, and so that's point one on this. We need to renew, or if we're going to renew them. Point two is that I want to just give you a sense of where our finances are, because when you lock it up as a CD, you can't get access to it until the end of that period of time, and it could be 6 months or 8 months or 1 month, or depending on which one of them that we do. So the current situation is that let me take that 25 that we're out of it. It's now worth about 26.5 thousand because of interest and other things in that, and it actually sits in a separate account than from our regular account that we use for our business. Business account's been running at about $27,000 or $28,000 consistently. But we've been hit with a number of things right now. And this month, and I think it's 26,000 on the last one, because we had paid the costs of the Halloween party out of it, et cetera. We now this month are going to be paying close to $10,000. That's 2 months worth of two periods payment for the street sweeping or street cleaning and it's about $4,000 each 6 months, and we're just paid the second half of 25 on that, and we're going to pay the first half of 26, so that's $8,000. We have about $2,000 for the newsletter that we're paying, which is 10, and there are a number of other miscellaneous things. So our net balance on that is going to go down to about $15,000, and in that account, and we will be getting some revenues this month. We usually do after we do a newsletter, So that might bring it up to, to 17 or $18,000, somewhere in that vicinity. I want you to be comfortable if we do the renewal of the full amount that's in the CD account, that we're working with, $15,000 now that we have as working capital over the next period of time. Does anybody feel uncomfortable
Well, I
with
have a
that?
question. So the longest table, how much did that cost us?
I think it ended up at closer to 5,000.
Yeah,
5,000, okay. And the street love, we're talking about half 2026, we're gonna pay,
that's right.
right? So the other half will.
The other
still
half
up.
will come up, that's
And
right.
We'll talk with Peter, but it sounds like that's gonna go up a little bit.
We're basically setting it at the same point. We're giving them a couple $100 more because I can talk about that in
Yeah,
detail.
okay.
but,
Yeah, that was about 4,000.
4,000.
See that
Yeah.
number right?
And we do get some revenue from the ads for the
We get
newsletter.
revenue from the ads that helps pay the newsletter
Right.
costs on it. So, I mean, as I said, we've been operating, within just a 1 or 2,000 variance month to
Right.
month for 2 years now. And I think what's happening now is we're getting the full amount of money for the street sweeping. We've got the new activities that we've been creating, and it's drifting downward. And I haven't checked it yet, but I think our revenues this year have been lower than they were last year. So,
Okay. I mean, one of my feelings about it is, number one, we have this new campaign to remind people to donate, so hopefully that'll help. And we also haven't gone back to buildings in an organized way and asked them, they stopped, almost all of them stopped donating, so that was money and that was probably because we have the security guard, so, it's kind of,
We stopped billing, so they're.
Right,
okay,
right. So there were those
Buildings,
things,
buildings like managing agents paid.
the buildings,
Yeah.
they would donate every year. But my other feeling about it is we are actually spending the money in good ways, it's like,
I
these are
think so too.
positive things that we're doing and we're trying new things, and I think that's all positives, so.
What's the period for the CD? 6
I
months?
don't know yet. I have to, it changes every day, and last time we
It's
were.
manageable. Like you don't want to do it every month.
Well, I would like 6 months is if we can get it, because it locks it in for that
Yeah,
period
right.
of time. And, but I don't know that the banks are actually offering 6 months CDs anymore because the interest rates are going down and they don't like to get locked into a higher interest rate that,
Say,
so I'll go down there, when I get back, started next week and see what the best number is.
Maybe the answer is instead of doing 25, do 20.
We could do that and we could transfer 5 over into, or leave it even in that
Account.
account, yeah.
Just
So
not
Gary-
CD
Gary, I-
account.
yeah.
Yeah,
I have a question or a comment, and I know this is more work, but if we opened, associations can open like a Vanguard account, and you can buy the Federal Treasury money market account, which pays about 3.9 to 4.2, goes up and down, but that has you're not locked into a time period, and you can sweep money in and out of that very easily online. So it's more work for you or Ethan, but is that something that we should think about?
well, I can look at what the difference is because we've been getting 3 3/4 or 4% typically on the bank account that they're running pretty close to what I get on my Fidelity account or other places on the month to month,
Just the flexibility. It's the difference.
I'll look at it, Peter. I think.
Yeah. I'm seeing like the Vanguard Federal Money Market Fund is paying 3.75 and CD rates are in the 3.75 to 4.10.
Yeah.
So that could make sense.
could make sense to,
Just
Yeah,
to keep it on-
that way you're
together.
not locked into a particular time period should we need the money earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's just to let you just transfer it electronically. It's
and it's less work than having to do CDs every,
yes.
or,
it would.
It's
speed
just-
the renewal process going.
It's just work. It's just work to set up the account
Yeah.
is
I'm not sure what it would take to set up an account with them, for the organization, but I can find out.
But you also have to make a decision by December 24th.
Yeah, exactly.
And we just deputize Gary to do whatever he thinks is.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see what the rates are, and if I can get I think I feel comfortable for 6 months, but I don't think I feel comfortable for the whole year.
Yeah.
Uh, if they had a whole year, CD.
Right.
Do what you think best.
All right, we're gonna leave that with you, Gary.
It's a good
Okay,
idea.
good.
I just also from a historical perspective, it's important to remember that in the good old days or the bad old days, whatever you want to call them, when we were putting all of our funds towards the security guard, usually, the balance at the end of the year was pretty much but near zero or negative. So it's really looking at the current balances now relative to what they were historically, it still looks pretty good. But I totally agree, we need to get back to all the buildings and basically Hetty's message in the newsletter, which was a very succinct description of all the good things that we're doing. Hopefully we can get all the people who were contributing to re-up.
Great. All right, Peter, back to you on Shared Street and then Street Love.
Okay, so it's going very well. Terrence is a weekly participant along with now generally Neosha, and we're very delighted to have that as well as everyone else. And the street cleaning is going very well. And you have on front of you the resolution that Gary and I collaborated on putting together with one thing to make the accounting a little bit more straightforward, 6-month interval starting January to June 30th, which the bid was also comfortable with. We're recommending a little under $200 bump to make it an even $4,000 for 6-month intervals. That would be starting January 1 to June 30th of next year, continuing with the program as we've had it since May 2024. So there's also some data there in terms of what we've accomplished. I'm sorry for the noise and interruption. Our downstairs neighbors are unfortunately facing some very serious medical issues, so they're at the hospital now. So that's why I'm been tending to the door, our door downstairs for them. Anyway, there's some data on the first page of the resolution in terms of the amount of trash that gets picked up, which is a lot. So, and a lot of it is, a lot of it's because of the street cleaning issue that Amy highlighted before, and there's also just a lot of litter on the street. At the last meeting, I have made this entree to the West 104th Street Block Association, and it's not holding our breath. The proposal there is that we clean Riverside to Amsterdam, even though their block association is just the one block. People are walking across Broadway to go to the post office and other things, and the blocks are very, very dirty. We did 2 provisional sweeps of them just with the youth ambassadors from park to park, and those blocks are very dirty. So, I'm hoping that they will be interested in supporting this as a community good, and that'll help too, because we do have more people who want to work at $27 an hour for cleaning the street than we have funding to pay for them right now. And we're trying to control that participation together with the halfway house. They have been great, and there are still some people who are graduates of the program who show up, and it's just between park to park and Cabot. We'll try and control that, but we're still paying for a few more. But the Block Association budget won't be hit for any more than you've authorized the payment for the halfway house residents. So has everybody had a chance to read the resolution, and are there any questions about it? And Terrence, would you like to say anything about this? You're on mute, by the way, Terrence. I'm not sure if Terrence heard us. Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay,
Basically, going forward, the request is $4,000 for 6 months.
yes.
Okay,
And that gives them enough money to have 4 people out there working on it each week. Plus a little bit extra, because there are, one of these, I went through all of the ledger on the payments that they've made to people, because I was trying to figure out where were all those payments from the people that apparently arrived on the scene and were paid, even though they had 8 of them there. And I'll be honest with you, ledger is so screwed up that it's really hard to figure out what's really going on it. But one theory I have after looking at that is that they were putting some other stuff into there. And I think, for example, right after the Halloween event, there were a bunch of people paid for several days after that. And I think some of the cleanup from that found its way into this program here. So it's, a little bit of flux. They need a little bit of flux in order to be able to pick up these kinds of things over the time.
Yeah, as Gary pointed out, they forgot to bill us.
right.
So they're not the question.
How is it working, managing the number of people from the halfway house?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Peter.
They're,
they-
they're,
have they
they're,
got-
Deanna is aware of the situation, and they're controlling the people from the halfway house now. So, it's it's tough, but it's fine. I mean, it's $27, but it's a lot of money for the people who are there. Terrence, did you want to take yourself off mute and say anything about this? I don't know if you heard the earlier part of the conversation about street love.
I got the gist of it, and I've been out there on the streets with these persons helping us out, and I can't think of any reason not to support them if we can possibly do it.
Okay, and are we expecting to hear from 104th Street? Is that a next? Or
That would be an additional, if they would want to participate, that would be additional funding to give us the ability to pay some of these extra additional people who want to work, and they could then clean the 3 blocks. The idea is that they would go to, even though the 104th Street is just that 1 block, for CABID to participate, since they hit Amsterdam, it just makes it a lot easier for them when they're with their directors, if they can say they have a program which includes going up to Amsterdam, which we do with the youth ambassadors who clean east of Broadway. And obviously, we all want the Broadway malls to be clean. And when we cross the street to go to Bocino or Arco or Hostling International or the post office. It's a real benefit to have those streets cleaned as well. So if I'm hoping if anyone can say any kind words to Steve or appeal to them. He's gone a little bit dark.
I've talked to him a couple times, since we started asking about this and, I don't know that they've met yet, but they really need to reserve their money for the security guard they have. So I have a feeling they're not gonna be, I don't wanna speak for them, but I wouldn't count on it at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah,
But
I
you can
kind of,
ask them directly, I mean, they must meet sometime, I think they meet once a month, just like we do.
and asked to present it to the meeting. The pity of it is that they really need it. That block I have I have video evidence of what was picked up, just on the two streets, and they were pretty
Well, I
dirty.
think that regardless, they would be willing to have volunteers help out, but whether they could provide money is really the question.
Okay.
All right, in the
Okay.
meantime, we'll move forward with the 4,000.
And then
Do we need to approve that?
just two things for the street lab, I talked with Peter and I sent on behalf of you guys, I sent a Christmas card to Halfway House.
Oh,
And then, one day, Sunday, I was going to Cathedral and I met a boy, a very, 6 or maybe 11 less. He had his own thing and he was cleaning the street with his mom. So on behalf of you guys, I also sent a card to him.
that's nice. Speaking of gift giving, that takes us to, we have a list from last year. Is this typical? Is this consistent with what we should do going forward? Even sent an email. Or no, Gary did, sorry.
Well, I think we hadn't done it before that.
No, this was a
This
particularly
was
robust
a-
year
yeah,
of gift
yeah,
giving.
That's right. And-
We were feeling flush.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't need to redo the gift to Ray. That was a
Right.
requirement.
Right.
Yeah.
Should we vote on the resolution for funding the 6 month of street load?
Oh, yeah, we should,
Before we do
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
can I have a?
I move that we approve the budget, the new budget for 2026.
Second,
Thank you.
Vote.
all those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. So gift giving, does everybody have this list in front of them?
No,
Okay, so I'll tell you the names. Ray Dooley was 500, Hosteling, 250, Cabot, 250, West Side Housing, 250, Broadway Mall, 250, West Side Cinema, 250. Like, do we have a overall budget that we allocate out, or how have we thought about it in the past?
We don't have an overall budget that we allocate. We've just done it year by year, what felt right.
Okay,
I propose to add 2 more to the list.
so maybe instead of Ray, for example?
Instead of Ray, for example. I don't know why we didn't do this last year, but. Oh, you know what it may be? Okay, the 500 was not a retirement gift for Ray. We gave Ray gifts.
Yeah.
The 500, although it was written to Ray, was a gift to the residents.
Yeah.
I don't know who Ray is, what
Ray
resident.
was-
He usually used to be the manager here,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
because of the bureaucratic red tape involved, when we gave a gift to this residence, rather than give it to Mount Sinai, we would give it directly to Ray. And then he could disperse it on behalf.
And the
of
reason
town.
was that if it goes to the organization that owns this place, they'll never see it. So
Right.
it's
I see. Yeah.
Right, so that first 500 actually remains. We're not missing
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
that
I
was,
think we gave another 500 in March or April or something like that.
I don't think we gave him dollars for his retirement gift. I
Where-
think we gave him
A
a card and a photo and,
Well, there's some-
Was there money? I
There
don't
was some
remember.
money involved in it, well,
Okay.
Yes,
What were the this month
credit
then?
card? Remember
Oh,
that
yes,
credit
yes.
card you
Yes.
recommended?
A gift,
For
an
a
Amex
gift.
gift card.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
What are the two new names?
Those, it's not two new names, it's one new name.
Okay.
I wanted to add, Riverside Park to the list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And we didn't
the
do it last
reason
year
we didn't
because we
give
had
it,
done the whole bench thing.
Right.
last year was, the reason we didn't do it last year, we were already giving them thousands of dollars.
With
for
the bench,
for
right.
the bench and all that stuff.
And I happened to get an email from Riverside Park today. They've got somebody, the board of directors is matching gifts that are given between now and whenever. So if we were to do it soon, that would be good for them.
So that would add 250, is that,
It doesn't have to be 250. I think we should just give them something.
is this within the budget?
I don't know.
Okay, let's see that the budget is on.
Discussing.
Question.
Yeah,
There was an amount that was donated to, well, it's now Uptown Film
Film Center.
Center. And I think that was,
that's in there. That
it's
was-
in there.
That's the West Side.
Do you-
Cinema?
Yeah.
Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. They changed the name. Sure.
Are you going to give an additional gift? Or is that going to stand for 2025?
I think we should give an additional gift. That's my opinion. It is in the budget. Total administrative, charitable contributions, compared to the previous year were the same, 2750. So
2750?
this is 1, 2, 3,
70,000.
70,000, 15.
It was 1750.
This is 1750.
I'm looking at 2750.
So we got money.
Right. And in the budget that we had passed for this year was something that we didn't spend was 2,000 and an administrative assistant to work with the chair, which we didn't ultimately do. So we're not out of our budget to,
I should add that if we do give to the Uptown Cinema, they have a matching
Right.
situation, so that'll be double the value. Before the end of the year.
Well, could I just make my plea for this year, trying to actually adopt the budget and stick with it and
well, we did that.
It sounds like.
I don't know if we
Was
said
it
that we adopted it.
Oh,
We've been
I
within,
thought we did adopt the budget this year.
we went way over on a bunch of things and
so is this our $1,000 savings? that-
Was the issue that we didn't adopt the budget or we didn't stick to it?
we didn't adopt it or stick to
Well, we meant to.
it.
if we need to be fiscally mindful, we can reduce some of these amounts and save a little money that way. I don't think we need to give 250 to each one of these institutions. We could go down to 150.
Okay. Well, what did we budget
Yeah, yeah.
we ended up, we're going way over on the Halloween budget and,
And we've gone over on the street lift budget.
yeah, and went over on that and, so that's it.
So
Yeah,
I
so
think we
look,
should- I think we
I
should-
mean,
We also have the money.
Yeah,
have the
I
money.
think we
And-
should go ahead and
Yeah.
spend this.
Yeah.
And then next year we can cut back,
Adopt it.
Well, next year we should adopt the budget and just talk through
right?
how we should spend the money
Right.
and whether we should
And
cut
we
back
know
or if we have the
how
money.
much the table might
Yeah.
cost.
and we also have to take a look at what our revenues are coming in at because, you know, I don't do that accounting month by month, so.
and maybe it's time to start building the buildings again.
Yeah.
That'll bring in a bunch.
Yeah.
Even if we do it at a lower amount than we used to when we were
Yeah.
having them help on the card.
Right.
But, you know, when the new year starts, I'll take a first cut at a budget and let's see what we can do. But we do have the money, you know, there's no,
Then we should spend it.
Okay.
Before, I know we haven't approved anything yet, but for things like the film center and Riverside Park, where there's a current thing going, do we want to send them checks or should we just do some personal credit card stuff? But then it's gonna show up as a person.
Yeah, it should be a check.
No, it
guess
should be a
that's
check.
check,
And
that's it.
I can't, I'm going tomorrow morning.
Right.
Up to Canada, so I can do it when I get back on the 22nd or the 21st or somewhere.
I'm looking to see if I have the. Riverside Park.
All right, but there's nobody we would take off the list other than Ray, right? So.
No, we're leaving Ray because Ray's not really
Okay,
Ray.
so
Ray
it's really
is the
downtown.
resident.
Okay, residents, Hostel Lane, Cabot, West Side, House, what was that?
Wishfish,
Wishfish,
the
okay.
organization that owns Merced.
Okay, Broadway Mall, West Side Cinema, which is Film Center, and then Riverside Park is the addition.
I have a question. Did you give money to Purple Circle?
We did that.
Okay.
Purple Circle, a nonprofit or for profit?
They're nonprofit. They're a 501c.
Do
What
we
is it? I
wanna?
don't know the organization.
It's a childcare.
It's right on Broadway.
Over that one.
All right, do we need to put a proposal to get forward of these items? Which if we add, if everything stays the same and we add Riverside Park at 250, it's $2,000.
Okay, I propose that we give these gifts.
The 2,000 for
Something
those,
up to $2,000.
yeah, for seven.
Second.
Second, vote.
All in favor? Yeah.
Favor, any opposed? So moved. Okay, great, all right, the other fun thing is Christmas caroling. We coming up, right, this Sunday, good lord, is the
This Sunday.
21st. Yep,
I brought with me a handful of the flyers. So if you don't see one in your building or you don't mind posting one in the neighboring townhouse or two, that would be good.
happy to.
I did a few the other day while I was doing newsletters. But I just got too cold, I think.
I'm happy to take more. I can put them wherever.
I'd rather see them posted. I tried posting them on the alternate side street parking signs.
Yeah.
Which somehow we're allowed to do, but we're not allowed to do the street light poles. But it was so cold the tape wouldn't stick.
Dear God.
Did the MailChimp go out like this today?
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
good.
Great.
so I am planning to follow up with the house to remind them that everybody's welcome. When I brought the newsletters here the other day, I spoke to the person who was up front. Okay. Bruce. And we have a volunteer to babysit the pot and a volunteer who's letting us use the hot plate. And I'm gonna do a go around to get refreshments. Oh, I'm working on a little gift for Anthony Bella, who runs it every year. I found a very cute little stitching project, which is my hobby of choice, with carolers singing. It's coming out really beautifully. I'm very pleased with that. So I'll take a picture so you can all see.
Okay, you mentioned UFC, was that the same as the
No.
moving or something else?
That was something else. UFC, the Uptown Film Center, wrote to us and asked, in that we are such enthusiasts and so supportive of them, would we be willing to write a letter in support of the organization that they can use for some upcoming grant writing initiatives that having really good support would contribute to. So I did that. I ran it by Amy. We got some feedback from Beth. I can read it quickly. To whom it may concern, speaking for the,
Yeah,
why don't I just circulate it as?
Yeah.
That's great.
Can I just say, you wrote an amazing letter. Really amazing, wonderful letter.
I haven't read it yet, but I assume that.
And I will circulate the letter so all can see without taking time to read it.
All right, the last two things are winter events and DNO insurance. I don't know what the DNO.
DNO is pending. I haven't heard from the guy. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's directors and offices. We don't have any liability insurance.
Yeah, I understand. Is there a next step or somebody doing something?
I'll remind the guy that he said he would do it and see if he's actually gonna do it. We just need somebody to sort through some quotes and decide which one we should get.
Okay, cool. And then winter events, there's a number of them thrown on here. Does anybody have a specific that they want to focus on? The timing and or event and or who that's intended for?
Gary, you were working on the trash panel.
Promise store.
So we don't have anything to move ahead with on that at this time.
Okay,
We had talked, I talked to Steve Zerinsky. He is thinking of putting together a forum with local politicians, possibly to talk about sanitation, but also general safety and issues like that. And I said, if he puts one together, I'm sure we'll be willing to co-sponsor it. But I haven't heard yet about dates or any
so
specific.
they'll take the lead, in other words.
I would want them to take lead. It was his idea, so, and then Hetty and I had talked about possibly talking to the Uptown Film Center about whether they wanted to sponsor or have us sponsor a film screening. Obviously somewhere indoors. It would be nice to have some winter event in February or something.
Awesome.
Between caroling and our annual meeting.
Right,
It's December and we don't have anything really
When
up
is,
and running.
when is the annual meeting? Again?
usually April.
March, April.
April. So I could talk to Beth and see what they think about that, if people like that idea.
I love that idea. Is there a lobby big enough or something that we would probably have to?
I didn't know anything about this, that we have something called upper, site, film center.
We
But,
don't yet, it's coming.
okay, I didn't know that, so I start talking with, my building. Because I have access to the right of some movies that have been interested, have been shown in Europe and interested are Iranian movies. And we do have a cinema technically, and I don't know what happened exactly, apparently. That there's a resident who rented it and then he rented it out to a church. But then apparently the church did something that they were asked to leave immediately. So now the venue is empty. So I talked with one of the board members, to see how I can use that space and, to show a movie. And I was like, I told them that, we can provide free ticket to the residents and then, sell the rest of the ticket and, donate the money to like a block association and stuff. And she suggested that I am going for too big of a plan and I should first use the projector that we have on the old museum side. We have projector and a screen, and she said that I should use that and show the movie there first.
In the Riverside lobby.
Yes. And
Which
then
building
see-
is it?
It's 310 Riverside, master.
Oh, so the
Riverside lobby.
the old, oh, the
That
lodge,
library
the-
theater.
yeah, the old ELT,
Yeah,
That became the church.
right.
I didn't know the church was gone.
yeah, apparently one night they did something that but they're not explaining what, but they were asked to leave immediately.
No,
So they're gone.
nobody.
The place is empty. But, they told me that it's too of a big, I'm going crazy, but I explained for them that I know that you guys are hesitant, but we do have a good population of Iranian communities, and I know that we are going to be sold out. And then we would have to put more than once a month in order to meet the demand, but she said that I should stick with the projector for now and do one or two. And then if everything goes well, she was willing to find a way to give us that space,
Bigger space.
for
Is
not.
it because of the movie or because of the?
I don't know,
idea?
maybe because I never, I'm new to the building, I never done anything.
I see.
Or it's just, I don't know, because I don't know the board members' personality, I'm just new and getting to know everyone.
Yeah.
So I'm working on, there's the very famous Iranian director that when I send you the name, you have heard of his name in newspaper, even in New York. He passed away 2 months ago. I was his student back in the days. And I'm close friend of his wife, so I think that she has all the rights, so. And then all his movies, because they were shown in Europe, they all have subtitles. And then there are other, so back in the days when I was living in Vancouver, I was assistant to director, Iranian director, so I have access to that. There's another one who is teaching in Stanford University. So I can have access to his stuff as well. But I'm starting with this is here and then,
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
yeah, and then I didn't
That's
tell
interesting, yeah.
to the master building board that, you know, I have this and that. I would just say that this one. And I told them that I'm going to send you the like short script of the movie so that you can choose, not that I would be the one choosing, because I know that it's not an American movie, so you guys want to choose.
Interesting.
And that raises a much bigger question of that room is a great theater on our block.
Right.
How many
And-
people could fit in there?
I used to go as a kid, like my parents had a subscription and I used to go there, but it's at least a few hundred.
Yeah,
It's a
Oh.
full size.
and it's
Uh,
even a very good for a play because the scene is like big. It's not just a cinema.
Yeah, it's a real theater.
Oh, it's a
It's
real.
it's a
Yeah.
real theater and also has the screen for movie, but it's a real
Oh,
theater
interesting.
and has backstage and everything.
Yeah,
There-
we
there's
used
a
to have
second door.
meetings there years ago.
So would the building charge a fee for it, or you don't?
I sent a Christmas, I mean, a holiday card to the person who
All your new friends.
because like, you know, can we have a coffee so that I can figure out what is your rent situation? Because I talked with Martina, who is from the Orchid, the company that, but they're reluctant to give much information.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'll go to the guy who rented technically the space, because I think he's willing to do something because this business there and he's not receiving any money like
Right,
before from
right.
church. So it's like a liability for him.
Oh,
So I'm just assuming that he would be happy to let us have
So
it
it's
and then
not
pay him.
controlled by the building, it's controlled by an individual.
Yes, because it has been rented to him and it's till 2028.
Okay.
Oh.
He has the tenancy till then.
I'm gonna talk to Beth. And maybe she'd be willing to, talk to you and maybe the two of you
Beth
together.
is the board member.
She, no,
No.
she's part of the town film center.
So
Oh.
on Broadway, there's an old movie theater called the Metro.
Oh, yes.
And the Metro has recently been purchased and is going to be rehabbed by a group called the Uptown Film Center.
Oh,
And that's when we've been talking about UFC, what that is.
oh,
And they spoke at our annual meeting last year and they presented a wonderful video and then sponsored a trivia contest at the Bloomingdale Bites event
mhm.
in October. And, you know, we've just been trying to help them get off the ground.
Mhm.
So she might be, I mean, they might be interested in partnering with you,
Mhm.
especially if that theater is available.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're,
Even if it's interim while they're getting up and going.
Yeah, because
yeah, they're looking at opening in 2028, so that could be a temporary home for them until they open.
Well, they are doing a series of,
independent films.
They did it over the
movies. They
summer.
did some up in
Yeah.
Harlem and.
Yeah.
And they're doing it again
and
this
they're
coming
doing
summer.
it
Yeah,
for
but that
various
could be
places
a-
here.
A fall, winter, spring
I'll
home.
talk to her.
It seems
Maybe I'll
like-
put the two
Oh, that's
together.
great.
My
Yeah.
business starting from Iranians, January, I'm going to approach Dr. Milani, who is the head of this Iranian study thing at Stanford University, because he has amazing budgets. I worked with him back in the days when I was at UBC, to tell him that we want to do this. And it's an Iranian movies that we want to show every month, and then see if he's willing to give us budget. And then we have the Persian Encyclopedia here at Columbia University. I don't know them personally, but I can ask him to reach, he knows me, so I'm hoping that he would accept to reach out.
All right, I know we've run over time, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for the 5 minutes. Good meeting. We got through
Well
a
done.
lot.
Yeah.
All right, so January is Peter, February is Amy, who hasn't had a turn, who wants March.
I'll do March, I'll do March.
Okay, Gary, you're up.
If I could for a minute, I just want to take a moment to thank Deborah for her longstanding service as chair.
You long-standing status.
Speaking of chairing, one of the jobs that we didn't discuss who's gonna do is posting the agenda to the Google Drive. So I will take care of the few of the remaining part of this year that have not been posted yet. I don't think it's gone up since fall.
Well, I
So-
thought that was happening every month when the agenda was final.
It's not
You said
in-
it took Caitlin.
Not to the Google
Not
Drive,
in
that's the
the
website.
I've created a Google Doc, but it's not in your.
Oh.
Right, but the drive exists and there's a folder and I just have to get back in there and figure it out. So I'm gonna do through the end of twenty twenty-five. But whoever's chairing beginning January, which will be Peter, and then Amy, that's gonna be part of the chair's drive.
Well, and it should-
chair's
it's just-
responsibility.
We can just house it in the Google Drive upon developing it.
Right, but then it needs to be stored for that month before it gets changed for the next month.
Sure.
Right. It's an archival thing.
Yeah, I think that's. All right, happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
That's amazing, here we
La,
are.
la, 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 la. Anybody else?
Can I take one of these?
Yes.
Give it to.
I had sent it to somebody.
No,
I
sometimes they're
forward
really
Wendy's,
rich,
one of our
but
board
when-
members, but I don't know if she
Definitely-
has a printer. I don't know.